Now, recruiters don't browse GitHub like regular developers. They have anywhere from 500 to 1,000 applications they have to review. So they have anywhere from less than 10 seconds to 30 seconds to review your GitHub profile, which oftentimes acts like your portfolio to the hiring manager. You have a very short window of time to prove that you're worth a click. Now, I go and review one of our students' GitHub profiles here. This is Evan's profile, and I go through it and I completely check from start to finish all the things that he could improve and all the things that he does well as well. So this is a great video if you are applying for developer roles to understand the mindset of a hiring manager and how you could improve your GitHub profile to become more appealing to capture those potential shortlistings from interviews in those 10 to 30 seconds that they are looking at your profile. And go take a look. This is the review. Right, let's take a look at your profile. So, well, from what I can see, it's not too bad. There are a few issues we can help with. Definitely some improvements. And let's start with the bio section. So this is where your profile picture is, your name is, your description, and your links. Now, off the bat, I would say everything is pretty good. That's a very good picture. That's perfect, very personable, and it stands out, and it gives you an idea of who you are as a person, and it's professional. So great job there. I would probably have your full name here, if possible. So in large writing, to make sure it's not abbreviated, it's not a nickname, it is your full name. Now, in your description, what I want to make sure is that we keep it outcome based. So we used outcome focused language. So instead of front-end developer crafting responsive user-friendly interfaces, we have front-end developer focused on accessible, responsive React and TypeScript UIs, building production-ready interfaces with clean, scalable code. Now, you don't have to write it exactly like that, but that gives you an idea of some of the technologies you want to mention. It gives you an idea of some of the specializations. But, it's not a huge deal, but that's what I would focus on. And being outcome-based and kind of pushing that message and that narrative of, I am this type of developer and I work with these technologies. You can trust me to work in your team. That's the outcome-focused language I'm talking about. Now, these links here are fantastic. It gives your location. It gives you where you're currently working, your portfolio link as well, which is great. LinkedIn, your email. There's lots of great stuff here. So really good job on your bio. I would just give you that suggestion on the description, but let's move on. By the way, one just last tip on the bio. Remember, we do not want to sound generic. You want to sound hireable. And you want to signal production readiness, meaning you're able to work in a team. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Right, let's have a look at the pinned repositories. Now, this is probably the main place that most juniors lose jobs. This is the place where hiring managers go, look at your pinned projects, and they bounce right back off. So here's the rule of thumb that I would suggest. Pinned repos equals your portfolio. For a lot of hiring managers, they consider your pinned repos to be your portfolio. And I would do the same as well. When I would go and hire people, I would treat their GitHub as their portfolio. And when I became a senior developer, I didn't need a portfolio. I just needed a good selection of projects on my repo, and that was it. Now, the kind of projects I can see you have are the X Twitter clone, Apple UI, Apple Cart, Firebase, To-Do. Now, clones aren't bad, but too many clones are bad. And clones should have or prove specific skills and not say, I just followed a tutorial. And it goes the same with the rest of the projects. What you want to avoid doing is kind of screaming to people, I have just followed tutorials, that's it. So currently right now, this looks like someone is learning front end and not someone ready to be hired. But don't worry, there are ways we can improve this to show that you are ready to be hired. For a junior developer, you want at least a minimum of 4 pinned repos here. Number 1, you should have a flagship front-end project. So this is React, Next.js, real UI decisions, that have taken place. It is 100% responsive. It is deployed, and it could even have some back-end element to it. Maybe it's connected to Supabase, and it's certainly hosted on Vercel or something like that. So that is your flagship front-end project. This is your big one. This is the one that demonstrates what you are capable of and the kind of technologies you want to work with, importantly. So that is the first thing you need. If you haven't got it, you need to build it. It can't be a tutorial project. This is something that you need to go off on the rails and build yourself. Number two, you need a UI focused project. So this is focused on accessibility, CSS layout, either Flexbox or Grid. You kind of like choose which one to really go for, and clean semantic elements. So you make it very clean, very readable, make it accessible, responsive, obviously, and it's very much a UI focused project. Number three, a practical app. So auth, forms, CRUD, those are great. Those are things that people need to be built, and you need to make sure you have error states, validation, all those things, and you've really considered the flows of this practical app. So when we say auth, we're saying just authentication from start to finish, log in, log out, register, forget password, magic link, all that stuff you need to add to your website. And number four, a smaller polished project. So something that's like animations, micro interactions, UX details. So it could be a very small element of a website. It doesn't have to be a full website. So it could be like a really cool form, or it could be a really cool 3-stage checkout. But obviously it doesn't work like an actual checkout. You can't actually buy anything, but it's the flow of a checkout. It has nice animations, good UI. It could be anything like that. So those are the 4 projects I would suggest that you put on your pin. And if you haven't got them, create them. And again, I wouldn't use a tutorial for this. You can use AI to help you come up with ideas for this and give you an idea of what exactly you're going to build. But obviously, you have to go in and build it yourself and learn everything involved, because if you build these, they're going to ask you about these in interviews. Now, everything else can stay unpinned. Recruiters won't really dig any further than your pin projects generally. Now, if you really feel you have some projects that should be on your pin projects, you can add them, but generally you kind of just want to put the most relevant on there, because a hiring manager probably has 1,000 applications they're going to look at, anywhere from 500 to 1,000, and they probably have less than 10 seconds to look at your GitHub, anywhere from less than 10 seconds to 30 seconds. That's how long it's going to take for them to make a decision on your GitHub. So if you've got some pin projects on here that don't matter, don't include them. Now, let's have a look at some of your actual repositories here. So let's open some of these up. So let's go to Xclone and go take a look. Excellent. All right, so this has got a really good description. Fantastic. Good description here. And it's got a demo link as well, which looks like the real deal. This looks like, you're on Twitter or X. So I love that. Great job. One thing I would note is that something here you could do to improve it, if you really want to set it off and really show you are considerate of these projects to be seen by hiring managers, is I would have like a preview image. So this is one of my projects. It's called Obsidian Waves, and I've added a screenshot on mine. And all you do is see the images here in the root folder. Now, it doesn't matter where it is, but I've added it here in the root. You can add it in an images folder or like a README folder, something like that. And then if I edit this, I'll show you how it's been added. So it's just been like this. And essentially that's how I've added the image. This is called Markdown. And this is the Markdown for adding an image called Obsidian Waves Preview. So if I go back and I hover over it, you can see the title for this shows up, Obsidian Waves Preview. So that's essentially what that is. So yeah, that's a little suggestion for you if you want to make your projects even better. But this is fantastic. I love that you've added the features here as well. That is great. So overall, great job on the repos. Let's check one more. Let's go to Applecart. Again, you've done the same thing. Brilliant. You've added features, even added the tech stack, given a guide on how to set it up. You've really, really gone to town. So yeah, absolutely great job, Evan. I really am liking this. So nice stuff. And just remember, and I think you're already doing this, but a README is how you talk to your recruiter without being there. So anything that you want to just let them know, if you think they might be concerned of, just highlight it. One thing I want to do is have a quick look at code hygiene. So this means we're just going to look at folder structure, component naming, reusable components, and just so you haven't got any massive God components which just do everything. Let's have a look. So this is your Xclone project. So let's go to your components. Yep, so these are divided quite nicely. Cookie banner, homepage. Interesting. Right, so homepage. Yeah, so so this is essentially a page. So yeah, generally we want these to be, if this is Next.js, we probably want this to be in the app folder, and then those components are divided up. But otherwise, this is very well named. This is done properly. That would probably just be a little suggestion here. So yeah, generally, yeah, great job here. Oh, one other thing is they are going to check your commits. So if we go to commits here, we'll have a look at the commit messages. So initial commit from create next app, adds readme. So there's not many commits on here. So what this would indicate is you've built this once and you've uploaded it, which would indicate this is a tutorial project. So keep that in mind. They will be reading your commit messages. So make sure they're professional, make sure they're clear, and they give a good idea of what you're changing in each commit. Now the contribution graph is good in some ways and irrelevant in other ways. What it does show is obviously how long you've been coding for. So obviously you're learning to code right now, so that's fine. But it shows that consistency beats intensity. So if you've had certain periods of time where you're super intense, which, you know, I can see that you are consistently fit. They do like to see someone who is a little bit more consistent, rather than they'll spend 1 week out of a month like really going at it. And it shows that you are, you know, quite interested in code. But I would say one strong repo, one strong project beats 50 commits, in my opinion. So it's not a huge deal, this contributions. So one thing I would say in this repo is missing is where is the real world problem solving? Where is the business logic? Where is the decision making? I want to see all of these things answered in a project. So remember those 4 projects I mentioned earlier? We need to make sure that's included on there. Companies don't hire you to build, you know, Apple's UI. They hire you to solve their boring problems cleanly. And as nice as these projects are, you need to kind of like go off the rails and kind of like build your own thing. So things I would suggest are dashboards for managing users, booking, scheduling UI, an admin panel, some kind of internal tool for a company, and a SaaS style CRUD app. And these align perfectly with, you know, actual front end jobs. So that would be my sort of goal for projects. Now, here's a clear action plan for your repo. So these are 5 steps that I would take to super improve this. And this is rewrite GitHub bio to be role specific, reduce pinned repos to 3 to 4 really good projects, turn one project into a flagship app or create one. Number 4, add strong readmes and screenshots. Now, I think your readmes are very strong already, but it's just, this is kind of an optional one really. And this is to add screenshots. And number 5, build one non-clone real-world flagship front-end app. That's what I would suggest. And if you do this and your GitHub stops looking like a student and starts looking like a junior front-end developer worth interviewing, this will change everything. So I hope that was useful, Evan. And that's essentially what I would take away from your GitHub. But yeah, it's looking good so far, but there's certainly... So that's my review of Evan's GitHub profile. Now, if that was useful, please do make sure to like and subscribe on your way out and follow for more just like this.